evening, everybody. How's that? Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In case you don't know me, I'm Councillor Bobby Campbell. I lived and worked McNab Braeside all my life. And here's I'll put some of these on so you can start with. And I worked at Gillies Brothers for 26 years. I worked at Gillies Brothers for 26 years until it closed in '92, as well as farming. I sawed logs and did almost all the other jobs in the sawmill, and I was sawing foreman for 17 years. I'm still farming. During that time, I also was financial secretary for the International Woodworkers of America for 5 years. My years as a foreman really taught me about what a budget was. It's all about common sense and how to use it. One of my greatest concerns is keeping on track with the budget and not to go into debt. We don't have millions of dollars. We're a small community and our tax base isn't large. It matters where every dollar is spent. There's many things I would like for a community to have, but liking and needing is two different things. If we don't have the money, then we need to wait until we do. I don't see any wrong with setting aside money for a few years for something that we need. I realize it isn't how big business runs. Each department spends as they are allotted, so when the next budget comes around, they will get more. In our case, it's just foolish, as we are the people making the budget. That's common sense. If re-elected, I would like to keep township taxes to 3%, even less if possible. More common sense. I want to keep moving ahead with a 5 and 10-year road plan with staff's help. It's all about doing it right the first time, so that money and time isn't wasted going back redoing it long before it should be done. We've made some major improvements at the dump site and fire departments, but there's still more to do. We have a great asset management plan in place with the help of Mrs. Graham and staff. It was done long before the new rules were even thought of.
Thanks, Bob. Please pass the mic over to Lou.
Yeah, that's it.
Hopefully that wasn't rudely, that was just sharply.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lou Laventure, candidate for council. I've been living in the township McNab for 50 years. I represent 8 generations of family that's lived in the township. I am the 6th generation. I have a post-secondary education in engineering. I spent 20 years on the family farm, so I know all about the farming. And after that, 30 years running my own business as a custom home builder. I'm running for council because I have kind of different ideas from what the past council has been doing. I think I can bring some new ideas to the table. I'm not sure where they're going with their recreation. My kids all went through the Civic Center, used it all the way up. I'm not sure there's anybody in this room can tell me that they haven't been in there for some social event, be it a fundraiser or stag or a wedding or something. I don't think we can afford that in the township. Those kind of buildings come at a huge expense, so that's why communities have to get together and share the cost. I'll leave it there.
Thanks, Lou. Scott Brum.
For those of you who don't know me, my name's Scott Broom, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. For the foremost, recreation needs to be addressed. It's a small part, but it does need to be addressed. I feel it's broken and needs to be fixed, and I believe I've got several years in recreation, both behind the scenes and in the forefront. I've been volunteering since the age of 16. We do need up-to-date programs for all ages, from newborn through to the end. I feel that that's not being addressed right now. I hope to bring a younger outlook to council and work to make the recreation and libraries a totally separate thing. Library should never be taken away from any family member. And I believe that it's a duty of the township to ensure that the library is available to every family, rich or poor. My past community involvements, I've coached minor hockey, I've coached ball, I've volunteered with team dances, organized local community events. I'm serving vice president of the Arnprior Agricultural Society. I'm the chairman of the Arnprior Farmers Market, and that's pretty much where I'll leave it.
Thanks, Scott. Mark, please.
Hi. First of all, thanks, Murray. I'm Mark McKenzie. I'd like to thank the Greater Arnprior Chamber of Commerce for organizing this important event, McNab School for hosting this, and it's great to see so many people out here interested in their local democracy and what's going to mean for them for the next 4 years. You can read about my bio on my card there on my website, but what I'd like to talk to you about is what we can do to prepare ourselves as a community for the upcoming challenges and opportunities of the next 4 years. Most important thing we can do is elect a council that is highly functional. And there seemed to be far too much dysfunctionality and fractured jockeying for position in the key issues that face this last council. And functionality, what does that mean? It means actively listening to the public, advisory committees, community leaders. It means being respectful of staff and working together to achieve consensus on many items of importance. A healthy community such as ours is a mix of families, seniors, farmers, business people who all cherish a rural lifestyle. But rural lifestyle does not mean ignoring the families that need the active recreation for their growing families and need some sort of fair access to pools, rinks, and libraries in order to fully educate and rear their children. Many of them, of course, go to this school here. It's interesting seeing a different sort of crowd here. My 2 kids go to school here, and this is not typically the demographic you see at school here. This council completely missed the ball on that point. It seemed to be representative of many decisions, seemed to operate on the basis of their own opinions and not the opinions of the public. So if elected, I promise to be part of a council that is more open, transparent, and inclusive to achieve the governance that draws on the strength of all of our citizens. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your questions.
Thanks, Mark. Heather, please.
Good evening, everyone. As a resident of our township for 12 years and committed volunteer, I'm seeking election because I care about our community and because I have concerns about the way our township is being managed. Concern number 1, Council decided not to continue co-sharing agreements for recreational and library services with our municipal neighbors, despite the fact that over 2,200 constituents signed a petition for these agreements to continue. These agreements are important for affordability, quality of life, and attracting new residents and businesses in order to grow our tax base. With childhood obesity and illiteracy on the rise, it is important to give young people and families equal access to services. As a single mother of 2 sons, I valued being able to provide them with library and recreational opportunities at costs I could afford. All families here, whatever their income level, must have those same opportunities. Number 2, we need to reinvest in our township, and I don't see much evidence of that. Our municipal facilities are in a sad state of repair. The dog and boat launches at Red Pine Bay and Claybank need to be addressed once and for all, and Braeside Beach is a disgrace. Concern number 3 involves the lack of transparency and openness around the proposed Bruce Firestone Arena. Sorry, this is not a private matter. Number 4, we need to value those who give freely of their time and talent. Volunteers on the Recreation Committee have boycotted meetings, and the Economic Committee resigned en masse because their viewpoints were not being heard. Not acceptable. Concern number 5 is Council's refusal or inability to protect the property and water rights of residents living near the Miller Quarry. The job of Council is to strengthen a community. This means investing in our villages, protecting our municipal assets, encouraging responsible residential development and listening to the concerns of the people. And if elected, that is precisely what I promise to do. Thank you.